If you're tired of picking a grill that promises the world but ends up being a hassle, I get it. You want something you can fire up for a weekend barbecue, keep it simple for weeknight meals, and not feel like you overpaid for a gadget you barely use. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The biggest fear most of us have is buying a grill that looks great on paper but turns out to be a pain to clean, a nightmare to fuel, or just too cramped for the crowd you're trying to feed. That's why I spent a few evenings actually setting up a 4-burner triple fuel combo from XLBTYNFD, cooking a couple of meals, and noting the moments that felt smooth versus the ones that felt forced. First off, the idea of a triple fuel grill propane, charcoal, and natural gas sounds like a dream for anyone who's ever stood in the backyard wondering which fuel to stock. The unit's design lets you hook up a propane tank, connect a natural gas line, or simply light a charcoal pan, and the control knobs are labeled clearly enough that you don't have to flip through a manual every time you want to switch. In practice, that flexibility paid off the first night I used it for a quick fish fry. I was at a neighbor's house where only natural gas was available, so I clipped the hose, turned the burners to medium, and had a steady flame within 2 minutes. The next weekend, I hosted a backyard barbecue and chose charcoal because I liked that smoky flavor for the ribs. Dropping a pre-made charcoal tray into the built-in compartment, the grill lit evenly and held heat for the 3-hour slow cook without the flare-ups you sometimes see on cheaper charcoal rigs. The 4 high-output burners each push about 12,100 BTU, which translates to a quick heat-up time and enough surface area to handle several dishes at once. When I was cooking a mixed menu steaks on one side, chicken kebabs on another, and a veggie tray on the third, I never felt like I was juggling space. The cooking surface is genuinely spacious. You can lay out a full sheet pan of potatoes and still have room for a grill basket. That makes it a solid option for families that regularly host larger gatherings or for anyone who likes to prep multiple dishes in one go. The stainless steel construction, specifically 304 grade, holds up well to the elements. After a week of light rain, the exterior showed no signs of rust or discoloration, and the paint on the knobs stayed crisp. In a region where humidity can be relentless, that durability is a real peace-of-mind factor. Now, the parts that mattered most to me after a few weeks of use were cleaning and fuel management. The XLBTYNFD advertises effortless cleanup, and there's truth to that claim. Most of the grease strips into a removable tray that you can pull out and dump without scrubbing the grill body. The charcoal tray also slides out, so you can dump ash in one motion. However, the downside is the size of that tray. Because the grill is built to accommodate 3 fuel sources, the ash catcher is a bit shallower than on a dedicated charcoal grill. If you're a fan of heavy charcoal cooking or use a lot of wood chips for smoking, you'll need to empty the tray more often than you might expect. It's not a deal breaker, but it's a hidden trade-off that can interrupt a long smoke session. Fuel switching is another area where the concept shines, but the execution has a slight hiccup. The propane regulator is tucked behind a removable panel, which is handy for access, but you have to be careful not to cross-thread the connection when swapping tanks. I made the mistake of trying to screw a new tank on while the previous one still had residual pressure, and the knob stuck for a few seconds before releasing. It's a small learning curve. Once you know to fully close the valve and depress the safety button, the process is smooth. The natural gas hookup required a professional plumber to install the line, which is a cost you need to factor in if you don't already have a gas line near your patio. Who should consider this grill? If you live in a suburban area with a mix of fuel options, enjoy experimenting with both charcoal flavor and propane convenience, and frequently entertain groups of 6 or more, the triple fuel setup gives you the freedom to choose the right fuel for the right dish without buying multiple grills. It also appeals to people who want a honest-stop shop for their backyard cooking, someone who might want a quick weeknight stir-fry on propane, a slow-smoked brisket on charcoal, and an occasional pizza night using natural gas for a steady, even heat. For those who are budget-conscious, the price point sits higher than a basic propane-only grill, but you're paying for the versatility and the stainless steel build that tends to last longer than a thin-gauge alternative. On the flip side, if you're a minimalist who always uses the same fuel, you'll probably get more bang for your